Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to take you through some of the comics and things that I have read and watched this week. Let's just get straight into it. So, I was able to catch up on the death of Superman. Finally, it's taken me a while to catch up on that, so I watched that as well as read the comic. Bit disappointed with these. Let's start with the film. The film was written kind of poorly, unfortunately. I think Superman is written as a bit of a dick, and the women characters are just kind of aggressive towards him for no apparent reason. That's a bit of a shame. It's written by Peter J. Tomasi, which he has done quite a few of the issues of Superman in Rebirth, which I've enjoyed up until where I've read, and it's a real shame that that this is not kind of hit the mark really, because the DC animated films I really truly believe are better than the live action films. So it didn't quite meet the mark that for me. The death of Superman. I mean, they're not all great, but I do think they're a lot better than the live action. So things like Gods and Monsters, I wasn't a massive fan of, but when you compare it to the likes of the Flashpoint Paradox and my favourite Gotham by Gaslight, it just doesn't hold a torch to those, and it's a real shame, because I really wanted this to be good, as it's such a definitive moment for the character of Superman. In terms of the comic, very similar really. It suffers from some poor writing. However, the artwork is fantastic, it really is, and it is a lot of 1 and 2 page spreads, which I don't have anything against. They look amazing. It was an incredible spectacle, but the writing just lets it down. You can't have an epic fight between Superman and Doomsday and him saying things like, his bony protrusions are cutting me. It just really takes you out of the story, and it's a real shame, because like I said, it's a definitive issue for this character. So just a little bit disappointed by that, but oh well, we'll move on. I caught up with Deceased issue 3. As you can see, I'm still getting the horror movie variants. This is The Nun. Not my favourite of the covers, really. I don't think it's as good as the second one, The Nightmare on Elm Street. I do very much like that they have swapped it up and gone for the glossy finish. It's a slightly harder cover. I do like that, considering the price tag on that. That I do appreciate. As far as the issue goes, it's a relatively good issue. It focuses more on Superman throughout the story, which I don't mind that. Although I think there's one character in this that they skim over. That's a bit of a shame, and that's Damian Wayne. Spoilers for anyone who has not read it yet. Damian Wayne has lost his family now. He's lost Batman, Nightwing, Red Robin. Alfred has vanished somewhere we don't know yet. So I think it would be really interesting to see the development of Damian within this crisis from now on, really, and see how he handles it. So it's a shame that that's kind of skipped past very quickly, to just say he's lost everyone and that's it. I'd really like to find out how Tom Taylor's gonna progress with that character. I'm hoping at least the next issue we'll get to see a bit of him, but that's definitely something to look out for. So yes. Finally, I have been able to start catching up on The Boys, written by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. this has been on my radar for a while. I haven't had a chance to get around to reading it or buying it, and luckily for me, a friend of mine has actually lent me the entire collection, so I've finally been able to start getting onto this. Garth Ennis, I'm a fan of. I've read part of his Preacher run. I've read his Punisher. Incredibly violent. Nothing wrong with that. It's great. Incredibly un-PC. Again, this kind of comic is not for the faint of heart. It is graphic in all senses of the word, but that's what Garth Ennis does really well. So I wanted to catch up on this because in a few weeks' time there is the Boys series coming out on Amazon, and it looks great. It really does. In terms of, from what I've seen of the trailers compared to the comics of what I've read so far, it looks like they've hit a lot of the points, and it looks very, very close to it. And I wouldn't expect it not to be. Ennis is a producer, and I think they're going to do the similar sort of thing they did for Preacher, keep very, very close to the storylines of the comics. So going by that, I'd assume that the TV series is also going to be quite explicit, quite violent. But this is one of those ones that if you don't mind a bit of violence, bit of blood, bit of sex, bit of graphic things, this will be something fun for you. There's the one line from Watchmen: "Who watches the Watchmen?" And they've taken essentially that line and made an entire story around that. In this universe, the superheroes are a bit careless. They don't think about any of the ordinary people's lives, and you get a group of people together, ordinary people that want to come and sort of shut that down and hold them accountable. And yeah, I mean, the artwork is fantastic. It's what you'd expect from a Garth Ennis book. It's obviously it's not Dylan like it was on Preacher or Punisher. Robertson is a little bit different to Dylan, but still really accentuates that blood and that violence. And I think you need to do that with Ennis's work, because he really works best when it is very explicit. It's meant to be over the top. And this is just it seems to me like another home run for Ennis, really. I'm going to continue it because I think there's 9 volumes. I've only read the first one so far. A lot of fun. A fair amount of world building, despite the fact they go straight into it as well. There's no holding back, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with this. So I'll definitely keep you informed with that. That is everything I've been able to catch up with this week. If you guys have read The Boys, if you've read The Death of Superman, or continue on with Dceased or anything, let me know, or tell me what you've been reading over the course of the last few weeks or this week. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well to keep updated for my new videos. And until next time.